Hey everybody, so today we're working in the master bedroom, trying to get some projects knocked out. Amber's been working hard all week trying to get the master closet organized since we got the shelves and the closet rods and all that stuff in. She's been getting organized in there. We also knocked out the chair rail in the guest room the other day, so we got that taken care of. But right now I'm working on getting some outlets in and trying to get a few things out of the way so that Amber can go ahead and get the master bedroom organized. So we're really excited to get the furniture and everything slid back into place and peel up the paper that's been protecting the floor. That way we can really start to see the master bedroom come together. We're going to put off the chair rail and the wainscoting, even though Amber's got it trimmed out and painted and everything ready to go, because we still have to decide on how we're going to trim out these alcoves on either side of the bed. These are going to have some shelves in them for books and other things. And they've got lights up above them here, so we got to figure out how we're going to trim them out. We may do a piece that comes out kind of like the stool on a window, like a windowsill, and then kind of trim around it, but I'm not exactly sure yet. So we're going to work on trimming those out because the chair rail has to die into whatever sort of trim goes around those. So we're going to put off the chair rail and stuff for a little while longer, but go ahead and get the rest of the bedroom organized. Master closet is looking really good. Get everything hung in here and getting all the clothes and everything organized. Still got to figure out this side. Right now it's shoe storage, but we're going to do some shelves in here and be able to go ahead and take full use of this nook in the closet. Once we figure out exactly what type of storage we need, we may do a combination of a clothes rack and shelving. Not sure yet. Still got to figure out how many shelves we're going to put in here and get that filled up as well. Right, hon?
You're not supposed to be showing that.
What? In progress?
Well, I'm putting all kinds of stuff in there. Just so we can get all this cleaned up. And then,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a process. Everybody understands that. All right. So I'm going to do a few more outlets here. Just got this one put in. And that one actually feeds this outlet sticking out here. Got to get all those wires and everything put in place. But I've got to get a box that will be flush mount, but then allow these cables to be recessed, these HDMIs. So got to get a box that'll do that. So for now, we're just going to leave wires hanging out of the wall because that looks awesome. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this outlet here because we're going to shove some furniture in. And got to do this one over here because this dresser is going to get pushed back against it. So we want to go get it knocked out. And then there's one over there behind Amber's nightstand. Going skiing? Yeah. Not quite skiing weather yet.
Not today.
It's going to be like 75 or something today. Crazy.
November.
In November. So I might have to sneak off later and go outside and work a little bit.
I don't think so.
Maybe just a little. All right, so I'm going to get back to these outlets and we'll give you guys an update in a bit. All right, so just got the last of the outlets done that we were going to do today. Right, hon?
Yes.
Yes. So now we're ready to start moving some furniture back in place and start peeling back this paper.
Woohoo!
We've never actually seen the hardwoods in their entirety.
No, I really think Lawrence had them covered up before we even saw this.
No, I think we saw like little pieces, but yeah, we've never actually seen all the hardwoods in their entirety. So you guys are going to see them as we see them. How exciting is that? So let's start peeling stuff back and moving things back in place. Check these out. What do you think?
Sounds good.
It's going to be gorgeous. All right, there you have it. We've exposed the first strip of hardwoods. It's gorgeous. What do you think, hon?
I like it.
Yeah, it looks really, really nice. So this is not the permanent rug that we're putting in here. We're going to use it for now until we figure out exactly what we want. But this was left over from the other house.
Yeah.
And it's probably a little too wide. We'll ultimately maybe get something a little smaller. Just so it's not, so you've got a little more exposed wood, but not too much. It's a balancing act, right?
It is.
So we'll use this for now. At least that way we'll have somewhere soft to walk and have something under the bed.
Yeah, and since I don't have a rug protector big enough, we just decided to keep the cardboard.
Leave the paper down under the rug for the time being.
Yeah, so.
All right, sounds good. We'll get this stretched out the rest of the way and hopefully get the bed rebuilt.
Woohoo!
Yay! All right, so we got things looking good here, hon.
I know.
Got the rug rolled out.
Woohoo! Vacuum.
Vacuumed. A lot of the dirt cleaned up. It actually looks pretty good in here with the rug.
Yeah, I like the size of it. I mean, we could go a little smaller on the width, but
Yeah.
the length is actually very nice.
I think once we get these pieces pushed back in the corner, we'll really have a better sense of
Yeah.
the size of the room and size of the rug we need. But yeah, that's actually looking really good.
And I've been thinking about putting a bench there at the foot of the bed, so.
Right. Yeah. So you'd have extra room for that. Sit, put your socks on in the morning.
Yep.
Starting to feel like a bedroom.
I know.
I've had stuff piled in here since we moved in and tripped over it. And rugs rolled up, tripped over them.
Now
So.
we just gotta get all the dust off of here.
I know.
Gross.
And then change all the air filters in all the furnaces. Who knows how much they've sucked in.
How much have we sucked at?
Right, as we stand here and sneeze. Okay, very good. We'll get the last of this up and then we'll quit for lunch. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right, so we finished up upstairs for the time being. We wrapped up the master bedroom yesterday, and today we're going to start working on door openings coming into the living room. And as soon as we get the door openings cased out, then we're going to be able to finish the baseboards throughout the downstairs as well. So we got to case this opening here coming into the living room, and then there's one over here that needs cased coming into the living room. One of the things we're most excited about is getting rid of this massive pile of trim that is in the living room that's taken up about, I don't know, at least a third of the floor space in this room. So very excited about getting rid of that. I'm going to get started over here, take some measurements on this opening and go ahead and get the casing built, get it put in place, get it nailed in, and then I'll be able to go ahead and continue to case it out, and then we'll be able to switch to the next one over there, keep knocking those out, and finally get started on the baseboards and shoe. So very exciting stuff. I'm going to get some tools set up, and we'll go ahead and get this first casing cut, put together, and nailed in place. All right, I got my casing pieces laid out here, just got everything cut and ready to go together. Got my 2-part CA glue and our 16 gauge finish nailer. I'm gonna put it together with that. I always like to use a little glue on these just to keep them from separating later on. If the nails start to work loose a little bit. So combination of the nails and the glue together should give us a nice tight fit, and it should be nice and stable for the long haul. So go ahead and get this knocked together, and then I'll very carefully stand it up, take it inside, and sit it in the opening, get it shimmed out and nailed in place. All right, we got the first leg of our casing up, and that was fun. We had to get the trim on the door to match the trim on the stairs, and so we had to do a little work with the oscillating tool to kind of make all that meet up nicely. But it came together, matches up really well, I think. A little bit of caulk, a little bit of wood putty, and some paint. We'll be good to go. Next we got to do the left-hand leg here, and then we'll finally do the piece across the top. What do you think, Dad?
So far, so good.
Not too shabby, huh?
Not too shabby considering having to made up with old work down here on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Looks a lot better than what was there before.
Absolutely.
Rotten wood. Collapsing, crumbling wood. So, making good progress. Once we get done with that, we got some trim that goes around the bottom of the stairs. We were able to actually save it. It wasn't all rotten and ruined, so we're going to be able to clean that up, I think. Put a little paint on it and put it back down. Definitely happy about saving this piece around the bottom. I don't know how we'd go about forming some new quarter round in that semicircular pattern. Had to steam it, I'm sure, at some point, and got to fit. That's a little beyond my capabilities here. Guess we'll probably end up using some of that synthetic stuff, that plastic quarter round or whatever. I don't know.
If you want to borrow some of your wife's cooking pots and make a steamer.
Yeah, I guess she'd probably like that. Maybe a rice steamer or something. Yeah, probably just keep what's there. Thankfully, we're able to salvage that. All right, well, we'll get a measurement and get this left-hand piece up. All right, so we got our cased opening done on this side, and it turned out really good. Really finishes the space out nicely. Now we got to work on the living room side of things. And that's going to take care of this side. It's really going to look better once we get that done as well. The only trouble spot is in this corner up here. That had cracked out, and this is part of the original drywall on this side. And they had filled that in, you know, taped it and then covered up the crack. And so that's going to create an issue when we go to install the casing there. That area's high. But the rest of it shouldn't be too bad. So we'll have to beat the drywall down just a little bit on the edges around the top here where they filled in a little. But other than that, should be pretty easy. All right, well, let's cut some pieces and do it. All right, so we got the other side done there. So now we're moving on to the one that goes into the office. And we've got the rough opening, everything ready here. I've just got to pull a couple of nails and take some measurements, and we'll be ready to put this casing together. Once I get that together, I'll be able to go ahead and put the casing on the outside of it and get this finished. I think that's it actually for this part of the house, and I'll be able to run baseboard around the entire office and all the way around the inside of the family room and kitchen. So that's pretty awesome. That's going to get rid of a bunch of this stuff that's piled up here in the living room. We're tired of living around boxes and stacks of wood, but you know, you do what you got to do. But we are whittling away at the pile. Feels great. So I'm going to get some measurements and get that casing knocked together, get it stood up and shimmed out and nailed in place. Thankfully, we just got the casing knocked out on this side. It was a bit of a pain. The drywall stood a little proud, so I had to beat that down and then bevel cut the joints a little bit so everything would come together nicely. But it turned out very nice. Now we're ready to go ahead and start running some base in here. So we're gonna have to pull some of this stuff away from the wall down through here so we can go ahead and get the baseboards run down into the family room and then around the corner here in the office. It's fun working around piles of boxes and building supplies and jugs of paint and trim and everything else. Isn't it, honey? Mm-hmm.
Being recorded.
Reed's working on homework. Yeah. How's it going, buddy? Great.
I'm trying to find a place to donate books.
Yeah, just trying to find a place to donate some stuff. So, next piece will be down through here. It's going to be a big one. So we're going to get some stuff out of the way here and take a measurement. I think it'll probably have to be 2 pieces. I don't know that we have any quite that long, but we'll see. We've got some long ones in the pile. All right, so we'll go dig through the pile and see what we got to work with. All right, so we got all the stuff away from the wall. Fun, huh, bud?
Yes.
Yes. So now we're going to go ahead and do the base and shoe across here. And while we got all that stuff pulled out, I figured we'd go ahead and do the chair rail, huh?
Yay!
Cool. That'll look nice. All right, very good. I guess it means I'll have to get the laser level out and run a line for that. Okay, well let's get our base down, see what that looks like. All right, so we got the base done. Didn't have a piece long enough, so we ended up having to do a lap joint. And that turned out pretty nice. So we got that done. Amber's wiping down the wall. That's where we had the saw sitting previously when we were cutting a bunch of trim.
Can't stand it.
And left a bunch of dust all over the wall.
I dusted it a while ago, but
she's wiping that down.
I couldn't really get it all.
So now that we got that done, we'll go ahead and do our shoe. And then last but not least, we'll go ahead and set up and do our chair rail. This wall will be done. We got to move stuff back in front of it. Pile more junk in front of it, so we won't even be able to look at it. What a deal. All right, keep up the good work, hon. All right, so now the shoe's down. It really does finish out that baseboard so nicely. Hides any gaps between the floor and the base. Really finishes it up nice, doesn't it, hon?
It does.
All right, you ready for some chair rail?
Yep.
Okay, go get the laser and get that set up. And we'll go ahead and get those marks on the wall. And we'll go ahead and cut some chair and put that up and be done with this wall. All right, so we got the chair rail up now, and that went together nicely. Laser level sure does make things easier and a lot nicer. But yeah, that turned out great. Got one joint here, and real happy with that. Can't even hardly tell where it is. So tell me, fill the nail holes and dab a little paint on it, it'll be good to go. So that's going to take care of this section. We'll go ahead and move furniture and everything back in place, and then move on to the next one. All right, so we decided to move on to the dining room. How's it going, Beb?
Great.
And we're putting down the base in here. We're going to do the base and the shoe. We're trying to focus on big, straight, long runs that we can use to burn up a lot of trim. That way we can get that stuff off the floor, huh?
Exactly.
As you can see, we still got to case the windows. You do the stool and the casing and the apron and all that in here. We got to finish the crown.
Yeah, this room is the least finished of all the rooms.
Yeah, so we're going to get this base down, and we'll do the shoe along this wall as well. And then that'll allow us to go ahead and knock out a couple more big sections of wood. And the more we can get off the floor, the better.
Yeah.
We're tired of tripping over it, and it's taking up a lot of room.
2 rooms.
A whole lot of 2 rooms. All right, good work. All right, so now that we've got the baseboard wrapped up here in the dining room, we're gonna go ahead and work on the casing around this door opening. Got the other side cased already, have had it cased for quite some time. But in order to be able to finish the baseboard on this wall and this wall, we gotta go ahead and get this casing installed here. And then also the one that goes around here. Just finished dinner, Amber's tackling the dishes. Thanks, son. And so yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some marks here, get some pieces cut, and get those knocked out. And that should take care of us for today. All right, so there we go. We got the door casing trimmed out, and man, does that look good. I tell you, it just does so much for a space where you can get the casings and the baseboard and all that stuff up. Can't wait to get the crown up in here. That's really gonna make this space look incredible. Once we get all of it trimmed out, we have all this stuff done, it's really gonna look like a home. It's amazing. Getting these window casings up and the stools and everything and the aprons, it's gonna look fantastic. So that's gonna wrap things up though for today. It's been a long day, all kinds of stuff accomplished. Real pleased with where we're finishing up, but we're gonna go ahead and quit for this evening. So that's going to do it for this episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. Thank you guys for hanging out with us as we tackle more and more projects around the house. We'll be sure to keep updating you guys as progress is made. We're really excited to put the finishing touches on the space. We're hoping to get a lot of this done by Christmas time. So we got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're supposed to host for Christmas. So we're hoping to knock a bunch of this stuff out so our family can come and enjoy the space, and the young ones won't trip over power tools, things like that. So we'll keep you guys posted. Be sure to hit that subscription button so you don't miss a single episode that's coming up. And give us a like if you would, please. Got any comments or questions, be sure to leave those down below. Always happy to hear from our viewers. And we'll see you guys again real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.